Today, we are here to embark on a fascinating discussion that will unravel the hidden secrets behind the tools and fuel scientific exploration, the laboratory apparatus. In this realm of precision and innovation, the laboratory apparatus serves as the very backbone of our quest for understanding the intricate working of the universe. Within these walls of inquiry, laboratory apparatus takes center stage, transforming theories into tangible experiments and granting us access to realm beyond the limits of our senses. From the humble microscope that unveils the wonders of the microscopic world to the sophisticated particle accelerators that unravel the mysteries of the cosmos, each instrument become an extension on the scientific mind. So therefore, the laboratory apparatus acts as our faithful companions, guiding us through the labyrinth of discovery. With glassware, we measure and mix, creating chemical reactions that illuminate the properties of matter. With sensors and detectors, we observe the hidden forces and energies that somehow govern the natural world. And with data analysis tools, we unlock patterns and correlations that lie hidden within the vast ocean of information. So let us now begin the discussion of the common laboratory equipment or apparatus. In this case, we just need to identify and classify those common laboratory equipment or apparatus according to their use. So let's start with the instruments used for heating. You have to be familiar with this. This is called the Bunsen burner. It is a metal heating device connected to a gas outlet with a rubber tubing. And then just like a stove, you may just turn it on with a match, and then the flame or the amount of flame is much higher or greater than the amount of flame produced by another, like the alcohol lamp. So that's the Bunsen burner, and this is how it works. It used to heat chemicals in beakers or even test tubes. It is an adjustable air hole, allowing some control of the temperature. Look at the hand of this man touching the hole of the Bunsen burner. Next is the alcohol lamp. The alcohol lamp is used for heating also, sterilization, and even combustion in a laboratory setup. The alcohol lamp uses ethyl alcohol as the fuel. And as simple as that, it can produce a low amount of flame, unlike the Bunsen burner. Next, for heating, we have the wire gauze. The wire screen with a ceramic fibered center. This is what it looks like. And to use that in a setup, we just place it on top of the stand, whether it's a tripod or iron ring. Used to spread the heat of the flame. That's the purpose of the wire gauze. It is the one that spread the heat coming from the flame or coming from the Bunsen burner and alcohol lamp. Another is the tripod. You may put the wire gauze on top of this one. The purpose of the tripod is to support the flask or the beaker on top when they are being heated. So it is a three-legged platform. That is how we describe it. And we have a small, based on the height, we have different kinds of tripod according to height. It is made of stainless steel here or aluminum and made lightweight for efficient portability within the lamp. You can carry it because it's lightweight. This is how it looks like when you set it up with Bunsen burner or alcohol lamp. Often a wire gauze is placed on top of the tripod to provide a flat base for gas wire. Another picture showing you how to set up. is being done here. Next, if you want to manipulate the height of your setup, which is different from a tripod, you may use the iron stand because it is a metal rod that is upright and sits on a heavy base here, used as a support and has many uses actually in the setup. Together with the iron ring, you may just attach it to the iron stand, and therefore you can adjust the height of when you're heating something. Commonly used in chemistry laboratories for supporting apparatus above the work surface. And another adjustable iron clamp used to fasten to the ring stand as a support for an apparatus. Now we have evaporating dish from the name itself. It is a porcelain dish or made of porcelain used to hold a solution whose solvent is being separated from the solvent by evaporation, and often we use that for heating. Evaporating dish. Another is a crucible with cover. It is made of porcelain also, used to heat small amounts of solid substances that are being heated strongly at a high temperature. If you want to melt metal, you may place a small amount of it inside the crucible with cover. What about the apparatus or instrument used for measuring and holding liquids? We have the beaker, and this is a glass container. Most are Pyrex because they can hold even a very high amount of heat, and the common sizes may range from 100 ml down to 400 ml. Another one, look at the body of this Erlenmeyer flask. Yeah, a container, it is also a container like a beaker. When you want to heat up something, it is also made of glass, a Pyrex one, and it comes with different sizes. An Erlenmeyer flask has a thin neck. This is what it looks like. It has a thin neck and a wide base here, to hold liquids when carrying out reactions and preparing solutions. So what makes this one different from an Erlenmeyer flask? This is a Florence flask. It is used to hold liquids when carrying out reactions. No heat use flat bottom. Even heating required use round bottom. Another, a volumetric flask. It has a longer neck than a Florence flask, used when mixing accurately concentrations of solution. Each flask has a volume marking which is very exact and can be stoppered. Another container is a graduated cylinder. It is marked with millimeters scale and is used to measure the volume of the substance. We also have the test tube. In the test tube, they have this round bottom and straight side minimize mass loss when pouring, make them easier to clean and allow convenient monitoring of the content. Aside from that, it is also used to hold, mix, or heat small quantities of solid or liquid, especially for qualitative experiments and assays. We also have the vials to store medicines and sometimes some laboratory examples or samples. What about the apparatus or instruments that used for holding hot objects or solids? We can use the forceps because it is metal. Sometimes it's made of plastic. Straight tip instrument here, used to isolate and remove small particles for picking. Another one is a beaker tongs. Look what it looks like. A beaker tongs is a metal with rubber ends, for friction, of course, used to handle hot beakers. Do not hold hot objects with your bare hands. Use these tools. Another is, or the way how you're going to carry the beaker. For smaller beaker, from the bigger one, it ranges in different sizes also. The beaker tongs. Another type of tongs is, of course, the crucible tongs. From the name itself, because it is used for crucible with cover. Metal again, made of metal, utility tongs used for hot crucibles. Spring-like jaws, with a jaw opening here. This is how you can use the crucible tongs. Next, the one that can hold the test tube, and we call that the test tube holder. It has a clamp here. It has a clamp with a spring handle used to hold a test tube. And this is how you're going to use it. If you compress it, the test tube will be released. What about the instrument or apparatus used for measuring mass and weight? We have the platform balance to measure or verify the weight of the materials. If you want to compare also the weight of the two materials, you may use the platform balance. Another is the triple beam balance, and it is used to measure the mass of the various objects here. Let us identify the laboratory apparatus or equipment. This is very good, a Bunsen burner. Next, this is an alcohol lamp. Very good. Next is the wire gauze, followed by the tripod. Another is the iron stand. This is an iron ring. An iron clamp. This is an evaporating dish. We have the crucible with cover for solid, so not the solid substance. Another is the beaker, the Erlenmeyer flask, the Florence flask, the volumetric flask, the graduated cylinder, test tube, plus the vials. For holding solid objects, we have the forceps. This is a beaker tongs. Look at the difference. This is a crucible tongs. And this is a test tube holder. For measuring the mass and volume, we have the platform balance, the triple beam balance, and what if we're going to classify them? Of all the pictures that I ask you to look at and name, you have to classify them according to their uses. Measuring mass or weight, holding hot, solid, measuring or holding liquids as a container, and for heating. Next, what about the rest of the laboratory apparatus? Let's take a look. In transferring liquids, these are the materials or the tools that we need to use. We have the pipette. It is somewhat longer than an ordinary dropper. It is used to transfer small amount of liquids. This is a small version, and we call them the droppers. It has a glass tip with a rubber bulb here. It is also used to transfer small amounts of liquid. Same with a pipette. Another is a funnel. It is made of glass or plastic sometimes, used to hold a filter paper and can use also in pouring. It is the one that assists when you are transferring liquid from one container to another to avoid spills. Remember, you are dealing with chemicals here, so you have to be careful. Let's say that the yellow thing here is a filter paper and you want to filter this substance. You see how it works here. Next, for body protection, we are using the surgical mask. To somehow, we call it also a face mask to help or to stop droplets from being spread by the person wearing them. And if you deal with some bacteria or culturing a particular studying virus, you need to wear a protective gear like this one. Another is the laboratory gown. It provides also protection to your skin and even your personal clothing from incidental contact and small splashes. Aside from the laboratory gown, you may use also the heat-resistant gloves because you're dealing with heat, so therefore, it is somehow used to handle hot glassware or other hot laboratory equipment. You may also wear the laboratory goggles used to protect your eyes. And for some other purposes, we have this instrument. This is called the watch glass because it is used to cover the beaker. And if you want to evaporate small amount of liquid, you may also use this watch glass. Another is a Petri dish. It is used, you look at this one, with a transparent glass or plastic cylindrical bladed dish also. It is used whenever you are culturing something like a bacteria like this. You have to cover it with a glass also for easy observation. It is used to contain a thin layer of agar on which to grow bacteria and even fungi. That's the use of the Petri dish. Next is the mortar and pestle. It is a heavy porcelain dish with grinder used to grind chemicals to powder or to pound chemicals into powder. To clean the test tube, you'll be needing the test tube brush. Mga thin glassware. And to hold test tube in place, you may use the test tube wrap like this. The wood. Sometimes it is really made of wood. Maybe made of wood or even metal or plastic used to hold the test tube in an upright position. Next, to measure the heat, you'll be needing a thermometer, of course. Usually inside it has an alcohol because it is very sensitive with temperature. And it is made of glass. To stir the substance or in other purposes, you may use the stirring rod. When you want to decant a supernatant, then you may just run it down here with the use of stirring rod like this. You may use it for stirring or if you want to decant. So let us identify the name of the following apparatus or instrument. This is a pipette. This is a dropper. Another, a funnel. We have the face mask or surgical mask, a laboratory gown, a heat-resistant gloves, a laboratory goggles. This is a watch glass. We also have a Petri dish and a mortar and pestle. Another test tube brush, a test tube holder or rack, thermometer. This is a stirring rod. Now, if we want to classify them according to their function, you may just place it here in the other purposes for body protection and for transferring liquids. And now, in this discussion, I guess we really unveil the story behind this laboratory apparatus, their use. So again, once again, let us embark on this enlightening journey together. Thank you for joining me and for unlocking some secrets that lies within the common laboratory equipment. Thank you very much. And once again, do not forget to subscribe in my channel. Bye-bye.